Saving your first $5,000 can feel harder than building the next 100,000. The answer is that the first $5,000 has to be built almost entirely with your own effort. You have no investment returns helping you, no large emergency fund protecting you, no proven financial system, and often no extra money left after the bills are paid. Every dollar has to be pulled out of your paycheck, protected from daily spending, and kept safe from the next unexpected expense. You are trying to create momentum before momentum exists. That is why the beginning feels so slow. Imagine you save $200 every month. After 3 months, you have $600. After 6 months, you have $1,200. You have been disciplined for half a year, but your life may not look any different. You may look at the number and think, I gave up dinners, clothes, trips, and small comforts for this. That is the point where many people quit. The plan is working, but the results are not yet large enough to feel exciting. The first stage of wealth building is psychologically brutal because the sacrifice is immediate while the reward is delayed. Spending $50 gives you pleasure today. Saving $50 gives you a slightly larger number on a screen. Unless you have trained yourself to value security, that can feel like giving something up for nothing. The problem becomes worse when everyone around you appears to be enjoying life more than you. Friends buy new phones, take vacations, upgrade their cars, and eat out constantly. You start wondering whether you are being too strict, but you cannot see their credit card balances, car loans, buy now, pay later plans, or financial anxiety. The first $5,000 also feels difficult because being broke is expensive. When you have no savings, a small problem can create a much larger financial problem. A $700 car repair may go on a credit card. Then interest begins accumulating. Now, part of every future paycheck goes toward paying for a past emergency. The original repair might cost $700, but after months of interest and minimum payments, the real cost can become much higher. A person with savings pays once. A person without savings may keep paying long after the problem is gone. You postpone car maintenance until a small issue becomes a major repair. You stay in an expensive apartment because moving requires a deposit, transportation, and several upfront costs. Having less money often forces you to choose the option that costs more over time. Your first $5,000 begins breaking that cycle. It gives you the ability to solve problems without borrowing. It lets you think beyond the next paycheck. It allows you to make decisions based on total cost instead of immediate survival. But reaching that point is hard because every setback feels enormous. You may spend 4 months saving $800, then your phone breaks and you need $500 for a replacement. Suddenly, most of your progress disappears. It feels as if all that discipline achieved nothing. But that is not true. Without the savings, you might have used debt, missed a bill, or borrowed from someone else. The money did exactly what it was supposed to do. It protected you. When you use savings for a real emergency, you did not lose progress. You converted savings into avoided debt. That is still a financial win, even if the account balance goes down. The path to $5,000 is rarely a straight line. The people who eventually succeed are not the people who never face setbacks. They are the people who do not treat one setback as a reason to abandon the entire plan. Another reason the first $5,000 is difficult is that you are building several habits at once. At first, every choice requires effort. Eventually, those decisions become rules. You transfer money automatically on payday. You keep a separate account for annual expenses. You stop treating every advertisement as an opportunity. Once those rules become normal, saving requires much less mental energy. This is why later stages can feel easier. The system already exists. At the beginning, however, you are trying to create the system while still living inside the old one. You are fighting habits that may have been built over years. Changing those patterns takes time. It is not enough to know that saving is smart. You have to change your identity from someone who saves whatever is left to someone who saves first and spends what remains. That shift matters because there is usually nothing left by accident. Money without a job tends to disappear. The solution is to decide where the money goes before you have the chance to spend it. If you want to save $5,000, divide the goal into monthly and weekly targets. $5,000 over 12 months is about $417 per month. That is roughly $96 per week. Maybe you save $300 from your regular income and use bonuses, tax refunds, or sales of unused items to cover the rest. The goal becomes easier when it stops being one giant number and becomes a series of smaller actions. Still, budgeting alone may not be enough. Many people hear advice like cancel subscriptions or stop buying coffee, but their real problem is that housing, transportation, food, insurance, and debt already consume nearly all of their income. You cannot cut your way to wealth forever. Cost reduction has a limit, income has a much higher ceiling. That is why saving the first $5,000 often requires both defense and offense. Defense means reducing unnecessary spending. Offense means finding ways to earn more. You might work extra hours, freelance, tutor, edit videos, design thumbnails, sell unused electronics, resell furniture, deliver food, clean houses, or offer a service based on a skill you already have. An extra $300 per month, fully directed towards savings, becomes $3,600 in a year. Add $120 per month from reduced expenses, and you reach roughly $5,000 in the same period. The danger is allowing extra income to immediately become extra lifestyle. Many people receive a raise and upgrade their car, apartment, clothing, subscriptions, and entertainment before they build any financial security. Their income increases, but their savings do not. The person earning more but spending everything remains fragile. The better strategy is to capture part of every improvement before you get used to it. If your salary increases by $200 per month, automatically save at least half. If you finish paying off a loan, redirect the old payment into savings. If you receive a bonus, tax refund, gift, or freelance payment, decide in advance what percentage will be saved. Without a rule, unexpected money tends to disappear. Your first $5,000 should also have a clear purpose. If the money is simply called savings, it can easily become a shopping fund. A growing balance creates temptation. You may tell yourself that you deserve a vacation, a new computer, or a better car because you have been disciplined. There is nothing wrong with spending intentionally, but your first financial buffer has a specific job. Its job is to protect you from debt and give you time when something goes wrong. Keep it separate from your everyday checking account. Ideally, use a high-yield savings account that is easy to access in an emergency but not connected to the card you use every day. Give the account a name such as Emergency Fund, Freedom Fund, or Financial Buffer. A label creates a mental boundary. $5,000 called savings feels available. $5,000 called 6 months of rent feels protected. You also need a definition of an emergency. A sale is not an emergency. A vacation is not an emergency. A phone upgrade is not an emergency if your current phone works. A real emergency is urgent, necessary, and unexpected. It usually involves health, housing, transportation, employment, or an essential responsibility. Clear rules prevent you from constantly negotiating with yourself. Once you reach $5,000, something important changes. The money itself is useful, but the real transformation is the reduction of financial fragility. A car repair becomes an inconvenience instead of a crisis. A delayed paycheck becomes stressful but manageable. A broken laptop does not automatically create credit card debt. You may be able to leave a terrible job, pay for training, move to a cheaper apartment, or take advantage of an opportunity that requires upfront money. Savings do not only protect you from bad events, they also allow you to act on good opportunities. A person with no savings may stay in a low-paying job because they cannot survive even 2 weeks without income. They may reject a course that could increase their salary. They may avoid starting a small business because one slow month would destroy them. Your first $5,000 gives you a small amount of negotiating power. You are no longer making every decision with your back against the wall. That can lead to better income, more savings, and more options. This is where the financial cycle begins to reverse. At first, no savings leads to debt. Debt creates interest. Interest reduces cash flow, and reduced cash flow makes saving harder. Once you build a buffer, savings prevent debt. Avoiding debt protects cash flow. Stronger cash flow allows more investing, and investing begins producing returns. The cycle that once worked against you starts working for you. This is the major difference between saving the first $5,000 and building the next $100,000. Early on, almost all the growth comes from you. If you have $500 earning 4% per year, you make about $20 in interest. That is less than $2 per month. Compound growth is technically happening, but it does not feel meaningful. If you have $100,000 invested and it grows by 7% in a year, that is $7,000. At that point, your money may add more to your wealth than you were able to save during the first year of your journey. The percentage did not become more powerful. The amount of capital became larger. A 10% gain on $1,000 is $100. A 10% gain on $10,000 is $1,000. A 10% gain on $100,000 is $10,000. The return rate is the same, but the experience is completely different. That is why wealth often appears to accelerate. The beginning depends mostly on behavior. Later stages depend increasingly on capital. Suppose you reach $5,000 and continue investing $500 per month at an average annual return of 7%. After 5 years, you could have around $42,000 depending on market performance. After 10 years, you could be near $95,000. The numbers are not guaranteed, and markets will rise and fall, but the principle remains. Time, consistent contributions, and returns eventually begin doing more of the work. You are no longer pushing the snowball alone. Your existing money is adding momentum. Your habits are established. Your emergency fund reduces interruptions. Your income may be higher. Your debt may be lower. You understand where your money goes. You know that one bad month does not destroy the plan. Most importantly, you have proof that you can do it. That proof matters more than people realize. Before reaching your first major savings goal, financial independence can feel theoretical. You are following advice without knowing whether it will work for you. After reaching $5,000, you have evidence. You know you can delay gratification. You know you can recover from an emergency. You know you can create a gap between income and spending. Someone who receives $5,000 by accident may spend it quickly. Someone who develops the ability to save $5,000 can usually rebuild it even after losing it. The habit is more valuable than the balance. This is also why you should not obsess over perfection. You will have expensive months. You will make impulsive purchases. You may miss a savings target. You may need to withdraw money. None of that means the system failed. One mistake does not require a month of mistakes. One difficult month does not require a difficult year. Restart with the next paycheck. Consistency does not mean never failing. It means returning to the plan again and again. The first $5,000 is not hard because the number is enormous. It is hard because you are building the person, habits, and structure capable of keeping money. You are learning to value freedom more than appearances. You are separating self-worth from consumption. You are becoming less dependent on the next paycheck. You are proving that your future matters enough to protect. $5,000 may not make you rich, but it can make you much harder to destroy. It can prevent a car repair from turning into high-interest debt. It can give you time to find a better job. It can help you survive an emergency without panic. It can allow you to say no to people, employers, and situations that control you only because you cannot afford to leave. That is why the first $5,000 may be the most important money you ever save. The next $100,000 may be larger, but by then you have tools that did not exist at the beginning. Your money is earning money. Your system is automatic. Your habits are stronger. Your confidence is real. Your financial mistakes are less expensive. Every dollar you already own makes the next dollar slightly easier to keep. So when the first stage feels painfully slow, remember what you are actually building. You are not only increasing an account balance, you are reducing the power that emergencies have over your life. You are creating options. You are protecting future income from past problems. You are constructing the machine that will eventually create financial momentum. At the beginning, you provide almost all the energy. Later, your savings, investments, habits, skills, and opportunities begin adding energy of their own. One day, your portfolio may move $5,000 in a few weeks, and you will remember when saving that amount required a year of discipline, extra work, and hundreds of small decisions. That is when you will understand that the first $5,000 was never small. It was the foundation that made everything after it possible.